Welcome back, and thank you for joining me. I am Heather Peterson Lockhart, and I am the Chiefess. And this is the third video, the third and final video for I Want to Lose Weight. So I have given you a physical training program, a physical fitness program to implement effective immediately. And I've given you the pertinent information, the 10 absolutes for nutrition, so you can retrofit your approach and start creating your beneficial and healthy weight loss nutrition program. And what else do we need? What else do we need before we set off on this conquest? We need some goals. I guess we need some goals, right? A firm outline would be a good idea. So we're going to set some goals. So I can tell you to go set some goals. Get your pen and paper out. Go set 3 goals. That's usually what I ask people when we start. What are your 3 goals for being here? What do you want to learn? What do you want to accomplish? What. And that's it. So it looks like I've given you everything you need, and you have everything you need. So I'll see you in 6 months, and we're looking for a 20% fat loss. How about that? Cool? So, all right. I'll see you in 6 months. And how many of you are feeling really good about this? Like, cool, I'll see her in 6 months and I'm guaranteed success. Like, this is good. This is good information. I feel solid. Probably not too many, right? Probably not too many. We do need to implement some other measures of accountability. But we need to, probably get an accountability partner. We need to create a schedule. We need to make sure that we, go grocery shopping, that we have created the menu for the week. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that we're going to have to start to bring to the table and retrofit in order to implement this lifestyle change. Cool. Okay. Everyone knows that. Everyone does that. Everyone understands that when they're adopting a new nutrition program, they'll be buying some different groceries. They understand when they're going to get back to the gym that their schedule is going to be different. You tell whoever it affects, you make arrangements accordingly. You take your little people with you, whatever, right? We all do this. So we all take measures, but still we're not talking 100%, success rate with those who, endeavor a lifestyle change. So what's the difference? And you've got the information, right? Because that was what was one thing we were concerned about to begin with. You've got the information, and you understand that a lifestyle change inherently comes with you implementing X amount of changes. So that there again, that should be everything, right? But it's not. I'm going to tell you the biggest reason that most of us fall short on our goals. When we endeavor to make a lifestyle change, when we decide to implement a new practice or a new hobby, and it's definitely not in our norm, but we really want it, and we're fully on board, and yet it just doesn't seem to catch, or we do it for a little while and then we fall off. We're totally accountable to begin with, and then we just can't seem to follow through. And it's not because we're lazy. It's not because we're not committed. It's because we make conscious choices to change our behavior. But the truth is, our behavior is coming from our subconscious programming. So until we become aware and mindful and make sure that our conscious behavior and programming lines up with our subconscious messages that we are giving out to the universe, till we make sure that they align, we're going to keep bumping up against the edges, and we're not going to be in the flow. And I'm going to give you some illustrations to demonstrate this, because these are new concepts, right? We're talking about energy here. We're talking about vibration. We're talking about the fact, are you ready for my stick figures? We're talking about the fact that you've got 2 systems in your body kicking a signal. Both this beautiful heart and this amazing mind emit a signal. They have a magnetic field and they're transmitting. So the deal is, most of us have notions about who we are. We've typecast ourselves. We have either been taught who we are by others, or we have simply adopted this idea of who we are, what we're capable of. And for the few people that have given themselves a limitless, opportunistic persona, life is amazing, right? But for most of us, I'll speak for myself, talk about a limited, fall short, less than understanding of self. So for years, I would talk, this conscious talk about the goals I wanted to accomplish and the things I wanted to be a part of. So my mouth would be like, let's get a little mouth here. Let's make a mouth. Here's my little mouth. My mouth is like, okay, that's about the no magnetic field, no big signal, nothing amazing going on there. So my mouth is talking what I want. My mouth is talking the change that I want to implement, right? My mouth is talking, I've got this. I'm here. I'm prepared. I'm capable. I love it. Yeah, all that. But my heart space and my head space are saying things like, you're not worth this much. You're not that great. I mean, the truth is, I was going to say all these other things. Ooh, this is when I get deep. I was going to say all these, you don't have this, you're not, but it usually comes down for me to, you're not worthy. You're not good enough. You're less than. You're going to drop the ball in some way, right? So, and you can see like how this, you can see the vibrational change is what you're seeing in me when I think about that stuff and when I talk about that, because for a long time I lived in that truth. And see, you can see the change if you watch how it makes me feel about if I were to own it, how it would make me feel about myself, and how that changes my resolve, and it changes my approach, and it changes my opportunistic perspective, right? So if that's what my subconscious programming, my head and my heart space are running, if that's the programming that I'm running, that even if I don't realize it is running through there, and so that's the signal I'm broadcasting, well then, you know what? It's the law of attraction, and I am met with what I put out. So if I'm putting out that I'm less than, that I'm not good enough, and that I'm not going to achieve, I'm going to be met with those same results. Even if my mouth 3 times a day is like, yeah, meh, 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 right? So we have to find a way to make these spaces in alignment. We need this space right here to line up with what I want and what I think about my capability. Then the universe sees that I am in divine alignment. Yo, HP says, look at my girl. She did the work. She now thinks she truly thinks she's capable. She knows she's capable of achieving these goals. Let's give it to her. She is in alignment, right? I mean, think about with your kid, right? Or think about someone coming to you for a job. If they're like, yeah, I'm going to be really good at this, and I'm super responsible. I mean, like, except for that one time when, well, it really wasn't my fault. I mean, like, blah, 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 like, okay, does that person look responsible right there? Are you going to hire them? Do they look like they're in line with what they're saying? I mean, their mouth is running this tape, but apparently from what you know about their actions already, they're not in line, right? It's the same type deal. It's the same type deal. So we need to get our heart and our head space in line with our conscious choice to make some lifestyle changes, to lose some weight, because we're going to be successful. So I'm going to show you a cute little way to address those little culprits that hang out in the back and like to holla and disrupt stuff, so that we can get in line for the freedom that we want to see, the change that we want to occur, the life that we want to live. Y'all have heard it said, the desires of the heart, right? Have you ever thought about why the desires of the heart are such a big deal? You ever thought about the fact that maybe there's an electromagnetic frequency, a signal rolling out of that is super, super powerful? That what your heart wants sends a signal to the rest of the universe? Creator is listening. It's really, really important. Well, that's because that's your truth. And so if the desires of my heart are beautiful and immense, but my subconscious programming is running this tape that I'm less than and not worthy, then those aren't matching up. And so I'm sending out mixed signals, right? I'm sending out mixed signals. In order to be met with a cohesive and responsive signal that matches what I want, which is good, I've got to find a way to get those in line. Now, since it is the desires of my heart, I can't lie on this. I can't just, if I don't believe in my own truth that I'm not worthy, then even if you tell me to say you're worthy, I'll say it, but it doesn't change where I'm at in my heart space at all, right? Or it doesn't change where I'm at in my subconscious programming. I pretty much think the way I think at that point, right? So we need to find a way to be honest with your insides, if you will, to be honest with your current insides, your current programming, and yet still give the freedom for the change that we want to invite. So we're going to make a mantra that's actually a bit of a disclaimer. We're going to flush those culprits to the surface. We're going to call them out. We're going to let them go so we can welcome the freedoms of a beautiful lifestyle change, knowing that we're capable, knowing that we're worthy, and knowing that we're going to be successful. At this point in the video, I invite you to pause and spend a couple moments in quiet by yourself and ask yourself what your culprits are. What are your major offenders? What are the reasons you think you can't be successful? Because if you're here with me now, you've got some. I'm going to wager that this is probably not your first time to the rodeo for weight loss. Most of us, we go in and out the door. We're trying some different solutions. So there are some reservations or some understandings somewhere back there. And if you ask yourself, you say, self, why do we think we are not going to be successful? Why have we failed in the past? Self will tell you. So I invite you to ask those questions, and I invite you to get those reasons, because the more honest you can be with yourself and the more self-explorative you can be, the better chance you have at addressing the real offenders. And we're going to get them out of there and move on by, because it's time to move some roadblocks out. Time to be successful, right? So once you have your culprits, we are ready. This meditation is brought to us from courtesy of Barry Jacobs of Blue Light Crystals. This is a meditation concept from the Shipibo people. So he adapted it from the Shipibo people, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is not my meditation. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the little thing here, and you have a PDF here. You have one of these. You can download this, and you can do it on your own. This is the infinity sign. This is a beautiful little infinity sign, and this is going to help us transition. The butterfly will help us transition. So in spite of an I am, on the left side, da-na-na, your right side, I forget you're on the other side. This is going to be the culprit, okay? This is going to be the things like, what comes to, I'll speak for myself. The big, I'm a recovering addict, alcoholic, bulimic, anorexic, you name it. Blah, 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 blah. The big offender with me for trying anything and thinking I was going to be successful is that I was a habitual failure. So I would write that in here. I was a habitual failure. failure. Haha. That doesn't make you feel like a real winner, does it? No. So, let's take some other things. Let's take some things from people I work with. They're yo-yo dieters. They have tried, 30 plus plans. They've tried a ton of stuff. After you've tried a ton of stuff and it hasn't worked and you've had good intentions, that starts to wear on your concept of self. You know what I mean? Like your resolve that you're going to be successful. That's tough. So let's say you're scared. You're scared you're not going to do well. I mean, we can list all these. We can keep listing and we can keep listing. We can say because of childhood issues. That's a big one for people. You might not think so, but it is. This translates into, adult avoidance, adult weight issues, adult emotional issues, all these things. And these become like these darkening filters on our bulb. They dampen our shine, right? So we could continue to list all of these, but my feeling is when we use the words that have a negative connotation, we bring our vibration down. We focus on those. And if you're like murder, flowers, you can see there's a different feeling in you. You receive those words, those concepts differently. So if I want to be transitioning into something positive where I am seeing myself as capable and I'm allowing the good flow, the good stuff, then my feeling is I don't want to use these words. Some people that I work with want to name these things. They feel, I think it makes them feel somewhat empowered, like they're taking control to call it out. And so that's why I'm giving it this way. Because you might want to list that like fat my whole life, whatever it is, that like, these are the things that pop up. Like, this is the stuff that gets in the way. That's like, I'm not going to be able to do this because, so maybe you want to write it down. Call it out. Like, that's cool too, to each his own. So we list this, but if you decide that you want to list a whole lot of stuff, but when we're moving forward, this is really going to be a lot to say, you can just write my past. Okay? And then I am, and I'm going to give you words to write in here. Too bad I can't spell. That says successful. I mean, it doesn't, but pretend it does. Because I'm not going to do it over again. Successful. I want you to write, in spite of, whatever you want to list here, or in spite of my past, I am successful, loved, and worthy. This is where we're moving to. Once you get here, weight loss, goals accomplished, self-esteem like nobody's business. They all run hand in hand. This is where we're going. What this does is this gives us a course of transition. That butterfly, look at her fly. Coming through this cocoon. This beautiful cocoon. Because we're leaving this stuff behind. Because this is the stuff that gets in the way. This is the stuff that has formed the old programming. This is the stuff that keeps running when we're trying to get in the solution today and look at ourselves a different way. But it's always been this way. It's always been this way. But in spite of my past, I am successful, loved, and worthy. This is where we're getting to. This is the good stuff. This puts us in line because it's still honest. This is really how I feel. In spite of my past, I'm here. I'm here. There's so much freedom in this. There's so much freedom in this. So I encourage you to do this exercise, print off the PDF, this beautiful little thing that I drew for you. get that off there and list the culprits. List the culprits and help that butterfly transition you into freedom. And then list, I am worthy, I am loved, and I am successful. After you complete the exercise, give yourself some love. This is really hard work for most of us. Really hard work. Actually, harder than the physical aspects and modifying the nutrition. That's been my experience. Most everyone who has come to me in the last 3 years, I would say, says something to the extent of, I just thought I needed to lose weight. We need to heal. We need to heal our total package, because see, then when in divine alignment, all systems, including the digestive, are working as they should. I encourage you to take your new mantra, to write it every morning, and to say it throughout the day. And the reason is we need that reinforcement. Not to mention, remember my little diagram, the old programming continues to run until you override it. The beautiful thing about your subconscious, I don't think I told you this yet. The beautiful thing about your subconscious is it does not differentiate between the truth and non-truth. So if you told if you could convince yourself, we're not going to go there. You could convince yourself of almost anything. So we can actively override some of the junk that we have programmed ourselves with that doesn't serve us any longer. We're going to develop an override program to our default programming that's just got to go. In spite of, I am, right? So I hope you have enjoyed these videos. I hope you have enjoyed this information. In my Be Human recalibration system, I show you how to put it all together. And it's super customized. There are modifications and adaptations given for absolutely most everything. I truly made a program that anyone and everyone can use. I really, really, really want you to have what I have. I really want you to have the quality of life that I have. I want you to have the limitless, opportunistic perspective I have now. That I can do anything I decide I want to do. I'm capable of anything I put my mind to and my heart to, my vibration to. And it's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life for each and every one of us. And we can take a few simple measures to retrofit our existence and recalibrate our systems, and to live in divine alignment, and to embody the gifts that we were given while in this life. Thank you for joining me. I love you.